Welcome to my channel Classmate. Today we will discuss about the chemical symbol. Second thing is the ions, formation of ions, and the third is the chemical formula. So let's start. At first, you can see that I have written already the chemical symbols. So what are the chemical symbols? Chemical symbols are used to represent the chemical elements, compound and the functional group. Okay, such that the hydrogen represented by H, helium by He, lithium by Li, beryllium by Be, boron by B, carbon by C, nitrogen by N, oxygen by O, chlorine by F, neon by Ne, sodium by Na, and magnesium by Mg, gold by Au, silver by Ag, tin by Sn, platinum by Pt, calcium by Ca. So that are few elements which I have written. There are lots of elements are present. So basically all these alphabets are the Latin alphabets. Okay. And to write down these we usually use one or two letters. If one letter we use, then that must be the capitalized letter, and if we use the double letter, two letter, to represent an element, then the first letter will be capitalized. Okay, so the first thing is, if we use the only one letter, then it will be written in capital, and if we use double letter, two letters, then the first letter will be capitalized. Okay, final, such that here H, two letter are used to represent helium. H is the capitalized and E is written small. Okay, but in case of hydrogen only one letter is present, so H written in capital. Now when we use the two letters to differentiate among the elements, we should use the two letters, such that carbon, basically C is taken for carbon, so C always represent carbon, but calcium also started by C, copper also, cobalt also, all are started with C. So if we represent, it is not possible to represent all these elements by C, as basically C is taken for carbon. Then we should use the second alphabet, such that A here, U here, and O here. Ca represent calcium, Cu represent copper, and Co represent cobalt. Okay. So in this way we have to represent the chemical symbols of the elements. So that all are the elements. Now today we will discuss about the ions and the formation of ions. Now before going to the topic ions and formation of ions, let's discuss about the noble or inert gas. What are these? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. All are these noble or inert gas. Why these gas are called noble or inert gas? As they cannot take part in any chemical reaction. They are non-active. They are non-active elements. Okay. As their outer shell are filled by 8 electrons, except helium in all these there are 8 electrons are present. So they does not take part in any chemical reaction, so they are called noble or inert gas. And all the atoms try to get the electronic configuration of this noble or inert gas. So from this concept we define the ions. Okay, we can define the ions. So what are the ions? Charged particles are called ions. Okay, and how the ions are formed? Electrically, an atom is neutral. Positive charge inside the nucleus, the positive charge, and the negative charge at the outer shell electrons, all these are equal to each other. So the total charge equals to 0. Okay. Now, when an atom gain or lose electron, then it will convert into ions. So when it gain electron, then it will be converted to the negatively charged particle and is called anion. And when it lose electron, it become positively charged particle and it is called cation. Okay. So anions like this Cl minus, oxygen 2 minus, double minus, and for cation we can get H plus, Na plus. All these are called cation. So when an atom lose electron, it become positively charged ions, and that is called cations. And when any atom gain electrons, then it become the negatively charged ion, that is called the anion. Okay. Now, how the ions are formed? We have to discuss that how the ions are formed. Formation of ions. So let's see. At first you take sodium. The atomic number of sodium is 11. That means the 11 proton and 11 electrons are present in an atom of sodium. So at first that is the nucleus, then that is the first orbit, that is the second orbit, that is the third orbit. So in the first orbit 2 electrons are placed. Then in second orbit maximum 8 electron will be placed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 plus 8, that is 10, and only one electron will be present at the outer shell. This electron is called valence electron. The outer shell electron is called valence electron. So for the metals, how they form the ions, that are the two rules. For the metals, if the number of electrons, almost the number of electrons is less than 4, then they gives or donate these electrons. They gives or donate this electron. And for the non-metals, how we find out the valency? That is the formula to find out the valency. Okay, valency. What is valency? Valency is the capacity to form the bond with another atom. Okay, so by taking electrons or by losing electrons, an atom combine with another atom, This capacity is known as the valency. So what is the valency for metal? At the outer shell, how many electrons are present? That is the valency for the metal. And for non-metal, that is the 8 minus 8 minus present electrons at the outer shell. That is the valency for the non-metals. For the non-metals. Okay, and for the metals, number of electrons at the outer shell. So to find out the valency, we must apply these two rules for metal and for the non-metals. Now the valence electron for sodium is 1 because only one electron is present at the outer shell. So it always tries to get the electronic configuration of its nearer inert gas such that its nearer inert gas at first come to the helium, then neon. So as similar to neon, it always tries to get the electronic configuration. That means it wants to make the electronic configuration like this, such that 8 electrons will be present at its outer shell. So to get this, it always wants to lose one electron. It always wants to lose one electron. So when it gives one electron, then the positive charge will be greater than the negative charge, as because the positive charge is same, that is 11, which is placed at the center or nucleus. So positive charge is greater than negative charge and the excess positive charge is plus 1. So when it gives this electron to another atom, it becomes Na plus. Okay, it becomes Na plus. Now you take, at first you take chlorine. For the chlorine, atomic number is 17 and the electronic configuration 2, 8, 7. So if you draw the structure of an atom of chlorine, then we can see at the first orbit, that is the nucleus, 2 electrons are present. Second, 8 electrons are present. And third, there are 7 electrons are present. Okay, so to fulfill the outer shell, all the atoms try to complete its outer shell and the number of electrons must be present in the outer shell is 8. 8. Okay, you can see except helium, all the inner gas have the number of electrons at the outer shell, that is 8. Okay, so there are 7 electrons are present. So it always try to take or gain one electron from another atom. Okay, so when it take one electron, then the negative charge, minus charge, will be greater than the positive charge. And as because there are 17, that means 17 electrons are present, 17 electrons are present, and when it take one electron more, then it become 18 electrons, which is greater than the 17 protons. So the excess charge in the chlorine is Cl minus, only one electron, Cl minus. Okay, so it becomes the anions, one anions. Now let's see the formation of anions of oxygen. For oxygen, the atomic number is 8. Oxygen atomic number is 8 and the distribution is 2, 6. So for oxygen, nucleus in first orbit 2 electrons, second orbit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As the oxygen is the non-metal, so we can find out the valency of this, that is 2 minus, as we know 8 minus the number of electrons present at the outer shell. Now to fulfill the outer shell, it always try to gain 2 electrons. 2 electrons. Okay. So when it take 2 electrons, then the number of electrons which is present, that will be 10, and the number of proton which is present in the nucleus, that is 8. So the number of excess negative charge is 2. Okay. Then we can represent oxygen by 2 minus or oxygen double minus. So in this way, cations and anions are formed by taking or by giving the electrons from its outer shell, that means the valence electrons. Okay. So cations and anions are formed in this way. Now let's see how we write down the chemical formula of a compound. What is the chemical formula? Chemical formula shows the composition of atoms in it, such that H2O is the chemical formula of water, which shows that one molecule of water is made up of hydrogen of 2 atom and oxygen 1 atom. Okay, so we get the information of about the water molecule. CO2, carbon dioxide, is the chemical formula of carbon dioxide. From this we get the information that one molecule of carbon dioxide is made up of 1 atom of carbon and 2 atom of oxygen. So all are these the chemical formula. Now my question is how to write down the chemical formula. There are 3 types of chemical bonding. First is called the ionic bonding. Second is called the covalent, and third is called the coordinate. So let's we discuss about these two only, these two. Okay. So what are the ionic bonding? This type of bonding are arise when an atom, that means the cations, positively charged ions and negatively charged ions, are combined together to make a compound. Then this type of bonding are arise, ionic bonding. And in this ionic bonding, one element must be metal and another will be non-metal. The bonding which arises between two non-metals, that is called the covalent bonding. Okay, that is called the covalent bonding. Now let's discuss how ionic bonding are arise. How ionic bonding are arise. Such that you take NaCl. NaCl. We know Na is the positively charged, the electronic configuration, atomic number of sodium is 11, and if we draw this, then we can see nucleus, 2 electrons, only one electron is present at the outer shell, so that is Na. Now for the chlorine, atomic number is 17, Cl, that is 17. So at first 2, then 8, then 7. Okay, so in this electronic configuration, sodium get the electronic configuration of neon if it give its outer shell electron. Okay, and chlorine convert to the electronic configuration of its nearer inert gas if it take one electrons from here. So it gives one electron to chlorine, and taking this electron it fulfill its outer shell electronic configuration, and the number is 8 at the outer shell, reach to the 8. And after giving this, its outer shell also get the number of electrons 8, which is the indication of stabilization. Okay, as the number of electrons is 8 for the all inert gas except helium, so they are exist in their stable condition, so that they are cannot take part in any chemical reaction. So in this way, sodium give one electron to chlorine and they form NaCl, sodium chloride. So that the bonding in between these two is the ionic bonding, all electrovalent. This bonding is called electrovalent bonding. Okay. Now covalent bonding. What is covalent bonding? Let's see. So you understood? You understood in this ionic bonding, one atom give or lose the electrons and another atom take these electrons. Okay, so in this formation the bonding as between these two atoms is called the ionic bonding. That is called the ionic bonding. Now for the covalent bonding, in this case two atoms which are take part to make a compound, they share the electrons. For the hydrogen, that is the nucleus, one positive charge is present and one negative charge is present. Okay, now to get the electronic configuration same as helium, it always try to take one electron more. Okay, for oxygen, it has 6 electrons at its outer shell. Okay, so it always wants 2 electrons to fulfill its octet. Now if we place one hydrogen more, it has also 1 electron. So both these hydrogen share their electrons with oxygen. Okay, so oxygen also taking this electron fulfill its criteria, that means the number of electrons at the outer shell reach 8, and also this hydrogen sharing this electron also take this electron and fulfill their criteria, the number of electrons at the outer shell is 2. So in this case the bonding which is arise in H2O, that is known covalent bonding. Okay, and covalent bonding is more stronger than the ionic or electrovalent bonding. Okay, so that's all. Today we'll discuss about the chemical symbol at first, then ions, formation of ions, Then chemical formula, how to write down the chemical formula for the ionic compounds and for the covalent compounds. In my next class, we will discuss about the crisscross method and how to write down this in very simple way. So that's all. If you are new, you must subscribe my channel, and if you like this video, then you must click on the like, okay, and share my video more and more. Okay, all of you, bye.